Hey guys, just gonna open up my channel here, away, just as I usually do. My channel, I am live, manage videos, create, go live, should already say I'm live, and excellent connection, that's good. I don't want to hear myself, I click here. And so don't want to hear myself. Let's get rid of this. I was just checking this out. My site and some music. Big thing with this, guys. Unreal Engine 5 is out. It was kind of a shocking. I was expecting to get a release date. Didn't really expect to actually just have the engine out right away. Um, which is good. It's good. It's going to keep me busy. But with that comes a lot of learning and some waiting and stuff. So, with Unreal Engine 5, okay, my mouth is still talking over there. There's a bunch of new stuff you gotta learn interface wise, and I'm gonna have to learn it, go over it on time, and slowly learn how to do this. Everybody will be doing starting from pretty much fresh scratch. With Unreal Engine 5 also being updated, that also means like all of the tons and tons of assets I've built up over time. Um, a lot of them will be getting updates. The just came out for everybody, and that includes the people who make a lot of these projects and stuff. So it's good. You have to give them time to update their products. So right now, I don't really want to dive into anything too heavy, because a lot of this stuff will have to get updated, and a couple of the big ones would be the Easy Survival RPG system as well, or the Survival Game Kit. Those guys got to update the stuff before I could really into my game. In the meantime, they came out with new samples of stuff. So they came out with the Lyra Starter Game Kit, as well as they already had a couple other kits beforehand. Like they had a puzzle game beforehand, and so you could start that. I, for Finding Home, am planning to build a shooter, a zombie apocalyptic shooter. There will be your obvious team deathmatch, your control point, and but those are just some fun things to do with friends and stuff like that in the downtime, or when you just don't want to do the main story content or stuff like that. So this sample here is really good for me. It gives me a base off to start off with. But as you can see, they have these cool robot guys, and I will be making more human, kind of modern, in a sense, zombie survival. That being said, I did migrate one thing over before starting today, and that is my buildings pack. In the buildings pack, I will open up a map here as a demonstration map. And I just, even though the building pack was designed for 4.27, I just migrated it in. So I don't know how that's going to work here. But it shouldn't be too much of a problem, because all we're using it for is its assets. And so going through today, we're going to go through the assets. We're going to start switching them over to nanite and then seeing how that looks. We're going to start building one of the big things, one of the big levels, or the first levels, which is going to be a hospital level. So the hospital level, multiple different floors, thinking about just doing a big hollow cube hospital. And I say a hollow cube because the top floors, you'll be able to access the roof in the center. But the lower floors, there'll be a big, the center will be like cafeteria and stuff like that. We'll actually use the center area. Um, hmm. So that map is also going to be used for a death match. It's going to be used for capture point. It's going to be used for um, just the newer kind of hunt game that is out there right now, where you don't have any weapons and there's some big bad scary guy who's running around and you have to go collect objects and stuff like that. Once you've collected objects, you got a couple tasks you gotta do. Once you've completed all the tasks, um, normally you escape or you or something, or you're the big bad just dies. I was hoping to spin that so once you complete all the tasks, um, wow, look at that frame rate. 23. To be fair though, there is a lot going on in this. And we're gonna work at that. We're gonna make sure the frame rate is not that. We would want that. And this is a huge hospital, fully loaded all the way out with everything already in it. Like we're gonna be watching this frame rate and have different sections load in and load out depending on where you are and stuff. But yeah, so right now by default, I think, yeah, this hospital is a T. We're going to want to break it and make it into kind of like a big circle. And that will be really cool to do. All these objects are actually just kind of hand placed in position. So we are going to make blueprints of the objects and stuff like that. We're going to be working with this until a lot of the other stuff is out. Until the easy survival game RPG, easy survival RPG systems out, or a lot of the other systems are out. And once things come out, we will bring them into the project, make sure everything looks good, make sure everything works, and stuff like that. If you ever had to test Lyra, it's good. It's just a shooter. It just the shooting works. The system works. You can go around and kill. There's some bots that give you. It's pretty good. I'll go over that. The other thing, again, it is the first Tuesday also of the month, which means lots of free goodies, because not only has Unreal Engine 5 come out, but they also gave us all of these things here, which is free city props, free city sample, free apartment props, free sample vehicles, free crowd system, free buildings, on top of the free for the month. And let's look at some of these prices. Regularly $200. I've been looking at this baked bread for a while. Like I said, when it comes to our cafeteria, woo, the bread will be looking crisp. Alright, it will look crispy bread. Alright, it'll actually look really good. These are photo scanned things. Normally $200. Boom, free right now, as long as you pick it up before Tuesday of May. You know what I mean? This is the April free product, so as long as you pick it up before the first Tuesday of May, you get these things for free. Another $100 neighborhood pack, which will be one of the second maps I'm going to have, which would be, yeah, like a neighborhood, just like one of the Call of Duty maps you have there, a neighborhood. And again, as you remembered with the current version of my game that is out on Steam right now, yes, I still do plan to have that big massive map, where we're gonna have building and all that stuff. But again, we have to wait for those kits to come out, because right now they're using physics, which is the old physics system in Unreal, and they have to transfer everything over to the chaos system. Again, some people are like, well, you could just do it from scratch. Well, that would take an extremely long time as it's an indie solo developer, right? That's why you buy these packages and kits to help push things along. And you know what I mean? Like it would be a nightmare to do all this stuff. But with buying assets and buying some stuff pre-done, some templates, it really helps you be able to migrate and make your game. It gives you the tools and the assets to create it yourself and get the game that you've always wanted to play. And there's a zombie game that I've always really wanted to play, and that's what the whole point of this is, because nobody else is making it. So, well, I actually see people making games pretty similar, or it looks like it's coming close, but I never know when they're going to get released, man. I've been waiting for years. So, hopefully mine gets more released quicker. They also have a concert, which will be cool. Maybe get a concert ground somewhere. Regularly $50. These don't really match my game right now. Maybe the medieval houses. I wouldn't use it as medieval house. I'd just use it as like for building, for you building your own house, like just like the building materials. So if you have a bunch of stone, you could build the stone house. If you have a bunch of wood, you would just use the wood assets, because the wood assets and the stone assets in this pack are pretty crisp. And again, they have doors. And remember, if I'm using the easy survival RPG stuff, it's going to have a really cartoony look. Now, the survival game kit does have a more realistic look already, so if when I do get that migrated in, I could just use survival game kit building assets. If not, I could use, this has everything you would require to build houses and stuff. So as you can see, you got your window walls, your full walls, and that's the same with the stone. You have your full stone wall and your window stone wall and your corners and stuff like that, and your so it would still work. So yeah, free assets of the month, really useful. But also, these guys, nice apartment stuff. It's good. So, yeah. As you can see, the editor is a lot more different, and so I'll have to get used to that. I did do some changes, as you can see. Like, I put the FPS up there. That's something as simple as, again, just learning myself, because everybody's going to be at square one. So it's a great time to pick up coding now, because everybody's at square one. And everybody's using this huge new system. And there's big people from Gears of War to The Witcher to, again, some Final Fantasy projects. Even the new Tomb Raider, the next Tomb Raider. These companies are all going to be using Unreal because Unreal is really good. Again, don't knock other engines, you know what I mean, big engines like Unity and stuff. The big advantage of Unreal will be the fact that we could use blueprints, and that it's just a drag and drop. So you don't need to really know or be an expert with code to be able to use this system, right? So that will be good. All right. So yes. So when I go to edit preferences, you could go to performance, and just at the top here, show frame rate. That's all there is to it. Boom. Your frame rate and your memory and stuff like that's up there. So right now I'm at 20 frames, using about 7 gigs of random access memory, which is still pretty good, because I have like 32 gigs. But I want to make it for easier for smaller computers. So. But the fact that my computer is only running at like 20 frames is probably pretty bad, because my computer, again, it's a monster. So, but look how realistic it looks. Oh, I love Unreal for looking so beautiful. All right. So first things first, we want a map like this. There's a couple demos here. This is the, like I said, the big one though is we want the hospital. The other one is just like a blank level, like a blank thing, and the overview is going to give me all of the different things. So while I'm playing with this, I'm gonna get the advantage of learning the feel of this. How I keep popping this up, by the way, is Control Shift. You could just click here, but Control Shift is your shortcut to bring it up. The other things I just did was put my settings here, so I know what happens when I hit play. This is the overview. It might crash. Oh, no. Okay. Wonder if it might not work. Alright. It used to be escape to kind of end your play session there, but they changed that, which is nice, because escape is always what you press to hit the pause menu. So just defaulting to hit escape, and all of a sudden, I fucking closed it. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to swear. I closed it. I didn't Need to close it now. That doesn't happen. There has to be a shortcut here. Shift escape. Oh, that's really nice. Okay, so if I hit play, I should drop to the ground here, not be able to move, and then I could just hit shift escape to close. Nice. And so that's what a lot of it will be learning, is just like hovering over things, because they're usually pretty good with giving you the hotkeys right there and there. So why I can't move is this is using an old, like, this game's version of a third-person character, this game's version of a player controller, and stuff like that. And in it, the hotkeys to move are going to be different than the hotkeys that it has generally set up for the Lyra game. So WASD, it might be labeled as move forward, where this game has its keys labeled as forward. Even that difference will stop it from moving. And one of the things you could do is I could probably open up this class, default pawn, third person pawn. So we go to third person character, and see, so the turn rate is not there, the lookup is not there, the jump is labeled something different. They used move forward. So let's just try to type forward. Input. They didn't call it forward. So let's go to input. So the I section. Input events. Is shift down. Shift right. These are all the keys. Like, you could just do a specific WASD kind of thing. But before, what you would have is you'd have these input access input access kind of event function that you set up in the editor. So you'd go to edit, project settings, you would go to edit project settings. Is it already up? Okay, edit product settings. I would go to inputs, and then here we'd have your access mapping. But you can see I actually don't have any access mappings. So I wonder how Lyra is doing its movements. I can't see it actually just doing all of its movements via like hard-coded WASD kind of things, and I'm still trying to get how they sorted their stuff out. So character customizer is the character customizer I brought in. I know, because I've already talked to the end project user, he will not be doing the same character customizer going forward. He is completely changing it. So when Unreal Engine 5, if he does the Unreal Engine 5 updates, it will not be the same. So me bringing in that character customizer is fine because it won't be the same going forward. And I want the old customizer. That's the way I want my characters there. So his character is here, and he has this default character. When I open this default character, just calls the parents construction script. Just has event play. There's nothing to it. I don't even think it's being used. So then he has heroes. Default hero, mannequin. This is animations. So it has all the animations. This is the character that he's having, and locomotions, aim offsets, and stuff like that. That's good to know. Rigs, abilities, empty pawns. So maybe it's hero. Ragdoll death. Starting to look pretty good. On death, play animation. Ragdoll. We need a separate actor. Do not destroy. That's footsteps. Animation movement effects. When you die in Lyra, you get this cool, like, I'm dissolving kind of effects, which is kind of cool. But we just want our simple movement. Character movement. That just generates, this is how fast our characters move and if they could go on water and stuff like that. Hero. These are components that get added. I haven't really seen movements done in a component before. To be honest, the best place, as I had mentioned before, to do a lot of movements or inputs, especially if you're doing a multiplayer game, from what I understand, is actually the controller. See if hero pawn. Again, it really blank page, anim, nothing really to it. Hero. So I'm just learning this with you guys, you know what I mean? Just trying to figure this out once I get through. Camera, third person camera, that's just where it's going. Hero. Character. Yeah, I don't really see it. Now, if I go back to the, I can show you guys the default game for right now. You go to system here, that's where I found it. You got your default map. This is what they give you here. And if I hit play, we got this little guy here rocking 110 frames right now. It's pretty good. And it gives you the option. You can go into a control, which will bring you to the control map. You could do elimination, which will bring you to the elimination map. You could do the front end, which will bring you to the main menu. Default map, which will just bring you back to this map. Exploder, which is like Bomberman. Not too sure. I guess I just threw that in there. And then control, which will just give you this map with a couple AI, and you'll just shoot at you and stuff like that. So if we go to front end here, shows you the loading screen that you're getting. The game's going to be sticking around 90 FPS. It is loading a pretty big facility and stuff like that. So it's decent. And it has Lumen, which is huge, okay? A lot of people might want to turn that off by default. And Lumen could be what's really crushing that last project that I was in. By default, it is on, and Lumen is heavy. Like, it is heavy. It's the opposite of day and night, which makes everything super performance nice. Lumen is real world lighting. You don't have to do any baking, but because of that, it is heavy. So you got these nice options they give you right off the scratch, different languages they give you off the scratch, bunch of just settings and stuff. And again, you can just replace a lot of this stuff with your own UI. Mouse and keyboard, so you can see that you have aim down sights, throw grenades, emotes, slots, melees, C or E, mouse wheel for quick. It is set up for the Xbox controller and the DualSense PS5 controller. Right, you can apply that. Sticky dead zone, sensitivity. So it gives you a lot of this stuff. Audio, we're gonna work with here. So it's pretty good stuff off the back. We're gonna hit back. I'm not gonna save any of that. Credits, should give you credits. Shows you just how to do credits. And again, because this is designed for you to build your game on top of, and that's what I'm going to do, just what they want me to do, right? So if I hit play here, you have your quick play, you have your browsing. So I'll have like my tutorial lobby, and when you go into the lobby, that's where you can walk around, do whatever. You could change your character up, and then you could walk up to the like a board, like it's gonna be like a bulletin board. When you click on the bulletin board, that's where this menu kind of thing is gonna pop up. But it's gonna have multiple different game modes. So start a game. You're not, instead of just having the two, we're gonna have multiple game modes. We're gonna have probably much like a drop down box, and then you can pick it. And we're gonna have multiple different maps for the multiple different game modes, right? That's the whole point of that. So again, you can pick like illumination here. The bots are on here. So this also gives you 3 different types of bots. 4 different types of character colors. So there's red and blue, but there's also yellow and green. So you can change them. The bots do work right off the hop. Probably want to get a better gun. Oh, there he was, down there. So then these are like little health packs they have. So this is the basics, but all of the out of the change. So I have the other character. So I have like a human character. You wouldn't have the futuristic looking kind of health pickups and stuff. You would just have, it would be, again, it's going to be in the hospital. So you could go in a room and in the room it could be like a drawer where you'd have your guns there. Oh, I've swapped to the, I thought I had the shotgun. But anyway, so shift escape there. That's what that is. And again, they have control points, which is nice too. But yeah, and then you'd go into a room and you'd pick up like, in a drawer there'd be a different rifle or something like that, or you'd pick up a band-aid, like your first aid kit instead of that weird floaty. Again, I would change the whole theme to match the zombie apocalypse theme, obviously. So when I get the easy survival RPG kit, it will have its own starting menu and things like that, and I'll switch it so when you load in, and that's what I was working on literally just Sunday. That's what I was working on, was the lobby tutorial area, and But now that I didn't expect Unreal Engine to come out like that soon. That's pretty crazy. So I really want to start working on here. So we have, it looks like the folder structure they want to use is, as you've seen, they put the maps in system, default editor map, and the front end map. Remember, that's what they called it. The front end map was the one with the front end map was the map that had the main menu in it. And usually the main, see, this is the main menu here, and usually the main menu has its own pawn class, which is interesting that it doesn't. Windows, builds, add quickly, quicksole importer, open class, open level blueprint. See if there's anything. No, blank level blueprint. There's nothing here. Contest defense, hero. That's the hero pawn that I was looking at. So I'm not too sure how that's working, but yeah, I still need to find their actual levels, because it'd be nice to actually just like duplicate their levels maybe and then just start adding it in. But I actually don't even know. Random lobby background. That just opens a random lobby background. Events on level load. If level fails to load. Ooh, I like how they changed the pins there. It looks really nice. Get lobby background. Loading screen. Label, oh, loading failed. Editor box. And again, I'll be learning a lot of this stuff. So one of the things I could do, they could do W. Could go under inputs. Well, maybe it's just simpler to go under inputs. Keyboard events. We'll just click. You could just take W and then W move forward. If it actually wants a scale value though, you could do input keyboard value. I'm guessing because it'd be like an access value, keyboard value. No. Key event, key. Put event, gamepad value. Keyboard. If it wants an access value, I would just set the scaler to 1 for now. We could learn into that. Oh, see, like, just use the key E here. Alright, it didn't show up when I did that. Just do input, keyboard, gamepad, enhanced action. Oh. So this is what they have it called here, I think. Move. Dash, heal, auto run, crouch, drop weapon, emote, grenade, interact. What would move be? Again, that's something I'll have to find out by looking into it. There's probably going to be some tutorials and stuff, so I'm going to be looking up things. Unreal did drop up 5 videos of how to do things. For now, we'll just do keyboard event W. Scalar value of 1. Move right will be D. That won't really work because you won't be able to move left. So move forward usually has like W gives a scalar value of 1, but then if you hit S, they'll give you a scalar value of -1, and so this kind of moves forward. And then you have A, but just having a specific key instead of an input access doesn't really work the same. And now they just have move, which kind of makes sense. Like, why would we need to do this, which is pretty much the same thing, when you could just have like make rotator world direction or something like that. They probably have some sort of math, and it just goes to move input, you know, move add movement input, and then this is just added into it by default. You know what I mean? And again, if I had the right controller, I would just add this to the controller class to open doors, but we won't be able to open doors right now. That's fine. So, with system being the area where I guess we're going to want our maps, I'm going to right click, new folder, finding home, maps. In here, I'll make a folder called the Oh my god, I don't. Still recovering. I don't know why. I couldn't figure out how to spell that for a second. F2. So this map is the hospital map. What we're going to do, window, content browser 2, we're going to go to building. Oh, that's getting annoying. Maps. We want demo 1. drag. Maybe we do another content browser for now. And so we want system maps hospital. So I drag this over here, move or copy. We're gonna copy here. They have a new function called advanced copy. F2. FH hospital. I wonder what advanced copy does. Saving it is still pretty long. By the looks of it. I don't know if it's just for a stream or what. While we're waiting on that, I want to check out how to disable Lumen. How UE5 disable Lumen. I remember Lumen just being like a toggle. Rendering. Lumen. All right. Oops. So that's that. This is this. Wow, still 89%. Wonder why it's having a hard time loading the map. Of course, it's still just like the old engine. You can't click on anything or do anything when it's saving. Just locks everything. Oh well. But yeah, what we'll do is we'll open up our hospital map and try to see if we could see if Lumen is on. Should be in our settings. Hmm. But I don't know. Like, it's tough. Like, from everything I'm looking at, Lumens is really processor heavy. It's really knocking down the frames. But if I could actually keep Lumen in there, I think it's really going to add to the realisticness of the map. If I can manage to get the performance down, if I can use the level streaming and everything like that, and the nanite stuff in there properly. Especially since a lot of my maps, there will be some big overworld maps, but a lot of my maps, because it's a zombie game, will be a lot of tight, tight tight quarters, tight, close quarters, a lot of close quarter maps, because that's the whole nice scare factor. You turn the corner, poof, you know what I mean? It's the instant kind of horror there. Environment effects, character, tools, UI. That'd be a good folder to jump into, is the UI folder, I think. See what's happening where. There should be one for the front end, which has all the different menu stuff, and where it's also pulling up the maps. Still at 89%. What is going on here? Let me see if I pull up task manager. Do I have Microsoft Edge open? Odd. Microsoft Edge. VMagic Mirror and OBS are using 25% of my GPU. And Unreal Engine is using none of it. CPU is low. Did it just finish when I was looking over at that stuff? Yeah, I can click up. Oh. So all I had to do was look away, I guess. Jeez. Alright. So... Oh yeah, so we want to close these two browsers now. We don't want those. Project setting browser. Project setting. There's a rendering. Oodle for compression software. Planar. Texturing. Culling. Global. Yeah, so it is using Lumen right off the hop. Reflections right off the hop. Lumen is like ray tracing right off the hop, so that's super heavy. And it's just by default using that. Standalone screen space, which is beta. But again, I might have to just stick with Lumen, because it looks like that's what they're going with. You got screen space beta, which is still in beta, and then you have standalone ray trace or none. You could just go with none, I guess. No global illumination. But we want the hospital level now. Also, we want to go back to content. I feel like it should be in environments, gameplay. New folder, and we'll call this environmental prefabs. Environmental prefabs. If we want to add the grass or the foliage in later on, we can. Wow, each one of these flowers are kind of like hand placed. And this pot is not one pot, like it's two different. Do translation, see if we got everything. All right, we got it all. So with this whole pot selected, there's no way. He must have just copied it. But we will right click, play from here, levels, create level instance, attach to, group, pivot, transform, edit, place actors. We want to convert selection to a blueprint class. Child actors for now, sure. We will call this Fern. Fern, I think is I will never figure out what that is. So we'll call it flower pot. BP. Folder. Building. So this is environment. Do I want to just put it into prefabs? And then the prefabs have interior buildings, exteriors, walls. Because prefabs is going to get absolutely massive pretty damn quickly. It's going to be the go-to place. It is a part of an environment. I think I'm going to do a new folder and call it plants. I want prefabs to be in the environments folder. It's going to be huge, but that has all my environments in it. And you have this here. So one half is actually the dirt and the actual kind of pot. Oops. Control Z, Control Z. So it's the shared root. We're gonna add a static mesh. And we're gonna call it pots. Sure. Decorative flower bed. So, click here, and we're going to paste the decorative flower bed. We're going to get the location, copy. Zero, zero, zero. Maybe I want the pot to be at 0, 0, 0. Maybe static though. I'll duplicate that. Whoa, whoa. Control W. Is that duplicate anymore? Control W. No, nothing's happening. So pot. Should I right click the pot? Nothing's happening. Right click here. Oh wow, duplicate is now Control D, not Control W. Good to know. Control D for duplicate. Pot 2. Flower bed 2. Flower bed 2. So that is the same. So that's okay. So pot 2, we'll just do the rotation 180. Minus 112. -1, 1. So pot 1 is at 0, 0, 0. It's in the center of the space, the dead center of the space. Pot 2 has to be shifted because, yeah. Now these ferns. We'll actually select the pots for now. We'll copy the location. Both mine, it's 41. Oh, it's a scale, so I'm going to say. Zero, 0. One 11. And we'll delete both these pots here. And it's just the 4 plants. Copy. Click pot 1. Duplicate. Or Control D. Duplicate. And we will call this fern. And we will paste the fern. Fern 1. And now I can just take out all the ferns. I think that was like 5 ferns. Control 1, 2, 3. Control. So yeah, there's 4 ferns in total. 1, 2, 3, 4. I guess there's 5 ferns in total. Oh, this is clipping. Camera speed, bring it down. There is a little bit of clipping, but it doesn't have that much clipping. Let's try 76, oh, 82. It is floating a bit. It might not be noticeable. Control D. Uh, 45 minus 45. Call this Fern 2. Control D. Minus 90. D. Minus 45 on that. It's minus 135. Again, it's not exactly on the bottom, but it will be really hard for people to tell, I think. It's pretty leafy. Now this flower pot. Down on the ground here. If we double click on this guy here, enable nanite, click on this fern here. Enable nanite. See? So, it seems like when we enable nanite, it is affecting the materials. You can see how grainier it looks and how white this material looks. But once we add nanite to it, and we hit apply, the material gets kind of darkened. This doesn't look so granular anymore. It looks kind of chunky black. And especially with the fern, we see that, like, once we add nanite, it just takes away the texture of the material completely. Because we're having a bunch of these trees around. Will... Let me quickly do a quick Google on this guy. Sorry about that. saying it's having problem with thinner materials. Oh, auto saving. Great. Well, we ran to our first little thing. I want to. Oh, we'll open up the material to see how complex the material is, and maybe we'll like rehook up the material for the fern. If I could use nanite, the better. If not for the fern, because it's a thin object, that's fine, I guess. But it does have, as you can see here, it does have almost 2,000 verts. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go into project settings in the preferences and disable that auto saving, because working with you guys, I can't have it saving all the time. That will be and there's been times where I was trying to demo something that was a pretty heavy project, and I got into an auto saving loop lock where it would be stuck auto saving something, and by the time it finished auto saving, it would kick into the next auto saving and then just lock up again. So auto saving's not always the best, especially if you're somebody like me who saves all the time anyway. So trying to think of what kind of complex thing it might be trying to do. I know one of the things they had taken out with the new Unreal Engine was tessellation. I don't think that has anything to do with it. I don't think they'd be using that. But pretty much be going through a lot of the projects and adding nanite to a lot of the things. Well, we have time here. We could double check that. E5 enable nanite removes moving material. See if there's any more. Nanite only works on opaque materials, not on masked or translutions. Any blend modes beside opaque is unsupported in Nanite according to the docs. It's unclear for some. Thanks guys, I didn't see the doc up yet when I was testing this. I guess I'll try very low poly leaves and exporting them from speed tree to see what happens. Anything that works against static normal vectors is not possible. Nanite divides the mesh. So you got it working with the trees. You didn't really state how though. But I can quickly look into the quickly look into the material here. It is quite a complex material. It has wind movement and everything. Wind movement right in the material. And then it gets using masks and all this stuff. Alright. Let's save that. Close this. So for the fern, we will not be using nanite. We will use LED group foliage. Yes. Number of LEDs, one. No. Small prop actually. Yes. Number of LEDs, 4. Auto compute. Actually, don't mind that. It looks good. So we'll just do that. It's a small prop, auto LED, and we will save that fern. This guy. We'll have nanite enable for this guy maybe. We'll save that. Does something wiggy with the texture at the top, but we'll just see how that. Again, this is not going to be seen too much up close anyway. So, and we're going to bring this down here. Could probably do that. It's kind of going. Yeah, I could do that. So we'll go to details here. This here, we're looking at 2000. Try 15, 20, 18. was 19. I'll do 20. I don't like these weird mixes, so these odd numbers pretty much. Try 2100, 2200. No, 2150. Oops, that shoots somewhere random. Control Z. 2120. 2110. So yeah, I want to do about 21. 25. And I could take this here and I'll move that over here. Let's see how this fits. Oh yeah, that's kind of good. Would prefer not to have the tree going to the wall though. Is there any way I could rotate this? To get it nice, it should be about there. I think that's about fine anyway. So ooh, this is a big 10. Let me leave it at 10 for now. Only 15? 15 is good, I think. So those barrels should be slightly in the ground a bit. I'm going to head over to the other side. See what's going on here. Yeah, they just put it right through. They just put the things right through. And so I will not need this light, but I will need this light. I'll bring this down right there. Then I will control D now to duplicate that tree. Put it there. Let's see if variety is. Okay. You guys might be wondering why I'm moving the entire hospital down to try to get as much space as possible, because remember, we're doing a big hollow square there. And I might actually shift this sidewalk down as well. So we want as much room as we could possibly get. But we want to now delete this fern because it's all kind of hand placed and individual. Or we got our nice, Control Z. We got our nice solid one pot fern here, which is just all, as you can see, flower pot. It's nice compared to a bunch of static mesh objects. And then this here could be a good example because it looks like a solid enough thing. We might be able to first make this I could have pushed this out too before I get too far into it. And like bring this right out to here as well to try to get even more room. We do like a wall's length distance. I'm not too sure where the center is. So 4,700. Huh? Looks good. And this guy looks like it's supposed to butt right up to it. So 4,275. No. 7,2. No. 7,1. Yes. Odd they would make it that. And this has to be shifted. 50, 70? No, what is this at? We could bring this out actually a bit. Now that was just 4,700. We could do the same kind of with this here. 5,200. Yeah, so we could do 5,200. I'm not too sure why we're starting in this corner, but it shall work, I'm sure. actually in a little bit. That's fine. So let's try that. Let's put it in a bit. So 4270. Oh no. 4272. Yeah, that's too much. 4271 it is. Let's bring this down. I actually don't know why they did the gate where this road's going through. I actually wouldn't mind actually having the road actually go right to the edge. So 3425 sounds good to me. $46.25. We'll do 20. So this is 34.25 to match it up. Let's do 15, 15, 15, 15, 20, 15, 25, 15, 25. Perfect lineup. I think that's gonna look a lot better. This is the road decal to divide the road here. $50.45. 12, 10. A little bit faded. A little bit more faded. That's good. Yeah, do 10. And then 38.50. That's about right. Control D. See if I can rotate it together. Ooh. 5200. So let's do 5200. Bring this over. That's nicely spaced. I'm gonna have to back this guy up here a little bit. You actually bring in. Oh, 5200. We could bring this guy in a little bit more, nice and tight. Just like this guy is, nice and tight. This here, can I do 3400? Ooh, it's nice and close. But this one is backed off a bit. So maybe I could do 3375. Ooh, this might be a little bit too far back off. Oh, it's close to 71 too. We'll see what this next one looks like. So obviously 5200, and we'll drag it close. Lines up. So 38. Yep. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. Control Z. 3080. 3080? Oh, 2980. $29.80. What size are these then? These are awkward, like 29. So these are actually 4. Calculator. I don't even want to think of that. So 3,375 minus 2,980. These fences are 395. Wow, pixels, why? It's so odd. Why wouldn't you make them 400? Well, that's on the artist, right? But doing that is going to give me this big space here, which I was trying to eliminate. Pushes me almost right back to the spot it was before. It does allow me to bring in a bit. This ground is just a random block with a grass texture on it. I could go a bit over the lines just to try to get a little bit of that space. go with 4,800. Then bring this guy in. Let's try 1,700. Well, screw it. We just have a full overhang at that point, though. Bring it right to 51.50. And this would be 20.50. There we go. Still need to delete this either way. I think. And this would be 50. So that's 46.45, and this is 42.45. So this goes up every 400. $38.50. So it's $38.50. Oh no, $38.50, and this is $46.50. Because this is 5,000 minus 400 is 6,400, and this would be 62. And that way it's perfectly kind of symmetrical as we're going to go and build this out here. So this is 36,250. So 135, 265. So it's adding 130 spacing. We'll do a 150 spacing. So we'll say 400. And then plus 150. That will put us at 550. Really? 665. Oh no, I was doing a 400 spacing. I guess because it was going from negative to positive, and I miscalculated. So 400. So we're talking about 400 to 800. we'll do 4550 here. So it's like they kind of painted the line there. No. Do 4540. Yeah, do that. I want to make sure I get at least another line in there. So 800, this will be 1200, and 4540. There we go. So kind of got what's going on with the Control D. We'll give these pots a random rotation each time. Do this 30. Like just place it in the center. Minus 30, sure. I didn't touch these lights too much. 2000. So you could roughly say they're about 1,000 a pop apart. So if we do 50-50, and we're doing 3375, we could do this at 50-50, and do this at 2375. $5,000, and we could do this at 3150. 2150. Yeah. 2150. And that's how we'll kind of have them. And we'll change the organization a little bit of it. This should be 5,000. And then we're gonna go around the hospital, kind of doing that. Once the roads and the borders are in place, I'm gonna make a blueprint for them, so I could edit them easier, kind of later. But now this is Unreal Engine 5. This is important that everything looks good. So I want the map to look good. Control D. Get some more here. Oh, so that's 3850. So it's 3850. And I think this is going up by like 400 each time. So this would be 4550. Duplicate. So that'd be 5850. And this is 3850.
Dan.
Mm-hmm.
In Devil May Cry 5, did Duncan kiss anybody or no?
I'm not too sure. It'd be pretty cool once I get working on the interior of the building. We're just gonna grab all of these guys and just kind of Bring him on over. Bring it on down. So this guy is supposed to be at 4,700. So I can click all these guys. Put them at 4,700. $4,700. Now let's line these up. Got this nice space here, and I guess I'll kind of line up. I might need an extra telephone, light here. These are just dual lights, eh? These are tri-lights. There's some dual and some tri-ones. I'll keep the tri-ones along this roadside here. Maybe 44.50 sounds right. 49.50. Or maybe I'll just do 5,000. There we go. Control V, Control V. Grab this one and do 44.50. And you can see when you individually place everything, it's a pain. It takes a long time to do stuff. To edit things. And even trying to blueprint this entire wall sometimes might not be the greatest idea, because then you're dealing with such a massive blueprint. You might want to do sections, like one wall, like maybe like the south wall, that wall, that wall, that wall, like break it up. Same with the roads, maybe one side and then right side or something like that, like front half, back half. And that's probably what I'll end up doing and breaking it up, so that it's a little bit easier to work with. But yeah, I'll be working on the hospital, waiting for updates to pop in. And when the updates pop in for each product, then I can start migrating them into the project. But it is 11 o'clock tonight, guys, so that would be it for us here on stream. Thank you guys for coming to check out the new engine with me. I know I didn't do anything too interesting. I'm working on some small stuff here, but I'm gonna get this level kind of built up because it's pretty important. Cancel. Oh, nope, too late. Damn it. Forgot about the autosave. Well, kind of boned now anyway. So yeah. Hopefully I get my video out on Friday, which is the kind of summary video for this Friday. It will be just pretty much, hey, Unreal Engine came out. Also, don't forget to pick up your free stuff for the month, and maybe check out the cool stuff that Unreal Engine has and stuff like that. Yeah, and hopefully I feel better and stuff like that going through the week. And yeah, so that's what I'll be working on this week. It's going to change up my whole plan. I'll just going to be working on the lobby and getting shooting in and something like that beforehand. But now that since Unreal Engine 5 dropped, I'm going to be full hands on Unreal Engine 5 all the time, because that's what I gotta learn, because this is the new way going forward. And again, big companies from the Witcher series, Tomb Raider, Gears of War, a lot of the Final Fantasies now are gonna be coming out with it. We're gonna be using Unreal Engine. This is the future. Again, there's other big engines out there, like Unity and stuff like that will still be popping up, and they're still doing lots of upgrades. But and they had a huge showcase with their realistic looking humans too. The whole genre is changing. It's crazy. So it's easier for individuals, if you're an indie, to kind of hop on the bandwagon and get started. All right, well, that's it for me. You guys have a great one. Ciao.